We're back. I'm Gary Rosignol with Prudential One Realtors, and I consider myself quite successful as a realtor, especially in today's economic conditions. We're experiencing one of the worst markets since the Depression. Over 2,000 licensed realtors have left the business just in the greater Cincinnati area in the past 12 to 18 months, yet my business is thriving, and that's no accident, and I'm not natural success on my own either. I was facing total annihilation, not sure what to do or where to go, when then I met my manager, Bob Daniel, who reintroduced me to Floyd Wickman. I remember the teaching styles learned from Floyd Wickman back in the early 90s when I took his course called Sweat Hogs. That was the turning point of my real estate career then, and Floyd Wickman's teachings today has made the same impression on my survival skills today that they did back then. Teacher, motivator, entertainer, author, Floyd Wickman has touched the lives of millions of people from across the globe. His life story, captivating humor and ability to connect with people has made him a cultural phenomenon. Today, Floyd stands at the helm of the Floyd Wickman team, an organization that continues to produce the most results-oriented, successful training programs and systems ever created with millions of students worldwide, and I am one of them. Floyd reaches a career pinnacle when he was inducted into the National Speakers Association Hall of Fame and earned the Council of Peers Award of Excellence, an honor shared by legends such as Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Zig Ziglar, Earl Nightingale, and Og Mandino. He was named by the National Association of Realtors and Realtor Magazine as one of the top 25 most influential people in real estate and has spoken to more than 3,000 audiences in North America and abroad. His inspirational and teachings help people be more successful than ever imagined, both in their careers and personal lives. With that said, I am humbled to call Floyd my friend and mentor. He is the pinnacle of my success, and I owe my career and life to what this man preaches. Thank you, Floyd, for agreeing to take a few minutes of your life to come on my show and share your wisdom and ideas to enrich the lives of those listening today.
Well, Gary, you're very welcome, and I'm proud to be a part of your show, and I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you. You know, Floyd, you weren't an overnight success. In fact, I recall your story when you were on a mission to fail until someone took you under their wing, shared an affirmation with you that made all the difference in the world. What was that life-changing affirmation?
Well, it's simply that I'll always be guided to do and say the things that contribute to my success. Anything that happens in my best interest. And when that sunk into my subconscious and ultimately my conscious, I turned my life around with that, frankly.
Mm-hmm. And what I've relearned over the past 6 months is that it isn't just about listing and selling houses. It's about being the best at what you are. The get by giving, making my client's number one goal, my number one goal, and always do what I say I'll do. Sometimes more, just never less. And from there, everything falls into place, right?
That's absolutely positive. If you can be a person that can always deliver what you say you're going to deliver, you'll stand above the crowd all the time, because most people out there will always deliver a little less than what they said they would.
Mm-hmm. With all the success you've achieved up till now brings you more challenges, and you're on the verge of one of the greatest tasks of your entire life. You call that your economic recovery program. Would you take a few minutes and explain what that is and where it's going to take place?
Sure, I'd be happy to, and I'll do my very best. Well, like the perfect positive storm, three things came together at the same time. One was taking a look at, I tracked 214 of my graduate real estate agents over a 2-year period of time, 2010, 2011, rough economic times, and discovered that those people were doing 3 times the average production of the average agent in our society, and collectively they hit 99.2% of their annual goal, which is like a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
So after tracking them, and I looked for the common denominator, and it was simply that every one of those people knew how to sell effectively enough so they could properly service their buyers and their sellers. If you can't sell in this industry, then you can't do the right job for your buyers and sellers. That's just the way it works, because sales is getting everything in life you want by helping other people get what they want.
Right.
So So I tracked that, and then secondly, something my mentor and friend Zig Ziglar said to me when he said, always remember this in a tough economy, that you keep a positive attitude. Number 2, don't worry, that's God's job. And number 3, remember you can sell your way in and out of anything. And then the third thing I happened to read, Gary, was I read we're back during the Depression, as we were coming out of the Depression, some great person said that there's nothing wrong with the economy that selling won't cure. And so putting all those 3 things together, the common denominator of selling, I've decided to kick off my economic recovery plan by focusing my energies on helping more real estate agents throughout North America become more effective at selling those properties that are on the market. So in its simplest form, I've offered my services free to the 10 toughest hit states in the United States to devote time to help agents succeed, and that's basically my economic plan. I figured out if I can help every agent sell one more house, and if it's only 5,000 agents I was reaching, I'd bring $6.6 billion into this economy just through the effectiveness of being able to sell more properties.
Just by helping one agent sell one more house a year throughout the next year. Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Selling is an amazing thing. I mean, people understand that selling comes from the Norwegian word to serve. And when we look at the real estate economy today, and you're a great salesperson, Gary, that's the secret of your success. You don't just take a home and put it on the market, you get it sold. And there's too many people out there with licenses that they call themselves consultants, they call themselves agents, they call themselves everything, but they don't necessarily know how to sell. So that's my commitment to our country and our society, is to get more properties sold.
Yeah, you got to pick the phone up and you got to call people, you got to stay in touch with people. And that's the thing that you and Mary Johnson has reminded me, because a year ago we were struggling, really struggling, and Bob Daniel, Bob really well, he said, you got to do this Floyd Wickman thing. And I says, I remember I did the Sweat Hogs back in the 90s, and I still remember things that you taught me back then. And I took the 7-week course, and you know what? I set my goals really high. I set my goals to do 50 transactions in 6 months, and my wife says, we can't do that. I says, what if we miss it and just do 35, would you be unhappy? She says, oh, no. You know what? We did 50. We did 56 in 2011. It's unreal. And I have you to thank you.
That's one reason I'm so proud of you, Gary. Huh?
And we're here to help people. Now, Floyd, my number one goal is to reach out and help someone who thinks that they have lost it all. My greatest challenge is what to say to them and what to do for them. If you were to give us one piece of advice, what would that be?
Well, to me, it's simply go back to the basics. I'm the comeback kid. My whole life, I've always felt some failure and had to recover from it for one reason or another. And one time, at my very lowest, not too many years ago, here I am, a grown man. I had everything under the sun, and I had lost almost everything. So I called my friend and mentor, Zig Ziglar, and I said, Zig, I'm a has-been. I just feel like everything's just beating me up left and right. And Zig said to me, as only Zig Ziglar could say it, he said, Floyd, how could you be a has-been when the best is yet to come? And it just made me think, if it is to be, it is up to me. So, you know what I did, Gary? I did what I've always done, which is I set a goal, clear-cut, specific, attainable. I made a commitment to achieve that goal, and not a half-hearted commitment. Anybody who's ever had bacon and eggs for breakfast, look at their plate, and they'll know the difference between a commitment and a hope. Commitment is here. If you look at it, the chicken simply made a contribution. It was the pig that made the commitment. And commitment means you have no chance to fail. And then the third thing you have to do is you've got to work. You got to go back to work. Put the smile on your face, make your calls, make your contacts, do everything you need to do. And you know what will happen? Guaranteed, all of a sudden, every day will be better than yesterday, and you stack one on top of the other, enough of those, and you're back on top.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's great. And I know you don't do this all by yourself. You have a group of folks that you really rely on. Mary Johnson's one, and you have three or four trainers that emulate you, and you have taught them down through the line to do things the way you asked them to do that. Correct?
Oh, absolutely. My goal is to become the worst trainer in my organization. I've arrived. I've got the best trainers in the world, and they're out there every day helping people be in control of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they do. And no one better than Mary Johnson.
Yeah, Mary Johnson's my best friend, and my wife, her name's Mary Jo, and Mary called 2 weeks ago. She says, "I'm Gary's other Mary in his life."
Oh boy, yeah, it's great to have two Marys.
That's right. That is. Well, Floyd, I really appreciate you calling in today and chatting with me. And you're writing a book. You mentioned Zig Ziglar a few times. Everyone's heard the person Zig Ziglar. He's one of the greatest speakers and trainers of all time. And you are a personal friend of Zig Ziglar's, and you're in the middle of writing a book about him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's entitled. Actually, it's entitled "Making a Comeback." Lessons from my brother Zig, though Zig is not my brother in any other way, but that we're both Christian, and he's my mentor and my friend. And so every lesson he's given me over the years, one-on-one,
mm-hmm.
I'm compiling into a book entitled "Making a Comeback" with lessons from my brother Zig, because that's how I learned to make my comebacks.
I can't wait till the book is out. I'm going to get one. I'm going to give one to my friend Gary Rasmussen, who's sitting here in the studio with me.
Okay.
One of the greatest insurance salesmen in the world.
Sure.
Well, hi, Gary.
So, Floyd, thank you very much for calling in this morning. I really cherish this last 7 or 8 minutes talking with you. We will see you around the bend. We'll see you at Forum in July. And I hope next June my goal is 100 transactions, or next January. My goal is 100 transactions, so I plan on walking across the stage and getting that plaque from you, earning that award.
I'll be proud to hand it to you, Gary, and thanks so much for having me on your show, and God bless you.
All right, thanks, Floyd. Bye-bye.